Now we are going to discuss about types of image. Types of image or nature of image formed by a mirror. In this, the first category is real or virtual image. Real image is formed by the actual intersection of light, and in virtual image, actual intersection of light doesn't occur. So real or virtual image. And the second category is erect and inverted. So the second category is erect or and inverted image. So if the image found is on the same side of principal axis, then the image is called erect image, and if the image is on the opposite side of principal axis, then this is called inverted image. So if our object is like this, then this is object. If the image formed is like this, then this image is called as erect image, and if the image formed is like this, then this is the opposite, in the opposite side of principal axis, then this image is called as inverted image. Since we have discussed about image formation by a plain mirror, so now we are going to discuss about some important points or terms regarding a spherical mirror. So terms related to spherical mirror, that is spherical mirror means concave mirror and convex mirror. So the first important point related to a spherical mirror is its pole. Pole is defined as the central point of the surface of a spherical mirror. So if this is a concave mirror and this is a convex mirror, and this is concave, so pole is denoted by capital P. So this is our pole, and this is the central point of this mirror. So this is point P or pole for the convex mirror. The second term is center of curvature and radius of curvature. Since we know that the spherical mirror is a part of a hollow sphere, so if we are going to manufacture any mirror by the help of this hollow sphere, so this is our hollow sphere. Since every hollow sphere has a center, so this is the center of our hollow sphere, and this is the radius of that hollow sphere. Suppose that we are going to cut a part like this from this sphere and make it concave or convex mirror. So this is the part of this hollow sphere. So the center of the hollow sphere, which our mirror is a part, is called as center of curvature, and radius of the hollow sphere, which our mirror is a part, is called as radius of curvature. So this is our, if we complete this sphere, or if this is a sphere, and suppose that this is our mirror M, mirror N. So this is the center of the curvature, and this is the radius of curvature. So center of curvature is represented by small c, and radius of curvature is represented by small r. The third term is focus and focal length. Focus is defined as this is our central axis. Central axis is defined as the line joining the pole of the mirror, joining the pole of the mirror and center of curvature of the mirror. So this is our central axis. Focus is defined as a point on the central axis on which any ray coming from infinity, or any ray parallel to the central axis which going to cut central axis after reflection is defined as focus. So for the concave mirror, this is our focus, and for the convex mirror, it doesn't actually cuts the central point, but it appears to cut the central axis. So this is our central axis. This is our pole, and this is our center of curvature. and this is our focus, going to be our focus. Suppose that this is a parallel line coming from infinity, and it going to like this. It appears to cut central axis on this point, and this is known as its focus. So in the concave mirror, light ray parallel to central axis diverges to focus. So sometimes concave mirror may be called as converging mirror, since light ray coming from infinity or any space parallel to central axis going to diverges on focus like this, so on. In the convex mirror, light coming from space parallel to the central axis appears to diverge from, not actually diverges, but appears to diverges from a fixed point on central axis of the mirror, and this point is known as focus. So since light ray is diverging from convex mirror, so this mirror may be or can be called as diverging mirror. So this is our focus, and the distance between focus is located or represented by capital F. The distance between pole and focus is called as focal length. So this is focal length for the convex mirror, and this is the focal length for the concave mirror. Focal length is represented by small f, and focus is represented by capital F. So after this, relation between focal length and radius of curvature So if small f equals to small r by 2, this is the relation between focal length and radius of curvature. One more term related to a spherical mirror is aperture. Aperture is the circular area of any spherical mirror which controls the light falling on it. Suppose that this is our convex mirror and this is concave mirror. This is concave mirror and this is convex mirror. So this is the circular area of this mirror which controls the light falling on it. So this is Aperture is the circular area of a spherical mirror which controls amount of light falling on it. Aperture means larger the aperture, larger is our mirror. So if this is aperture of different mirror, so this mirror will be small with respect to this mirror. Aperture is denoted by or specified by diameter of the circular area or boundary of spherical mirror. Now we are going to discuss about some rays which are important for image formation by a spherical mirror. So first we take a concave mirror. This is our central axis. And this is the pole and this is the concave mirror MM. Now by definition we know that any rays coming parallel to the principal axis is going to cut focus. So this is our focus and this is our center of curvature. So one ray is this, which is parallel to principal axis, and after reflection it passes through focus. The second one is a ray which is passing through center of curvature. And after striking it retraces its path. So these are two important rays for image formation. The first one is parallel to principal axis, and second one which is going to cut center of curvature before and after reflection. If we want to see these two rays in a convex mirror, so this is our convex mirror and this is the central axis of this mirror. This is the pole. Suppose that this is M dash N dash. This is our focus and this is center of curvature. So if a ray is coming parallel to the central axis like this, then this ray appears to diverges from a point on the central axis which is known as focus. So this, and the second one is a ray coming and if it cuts the center of curvature after reflection, it going to retrace its path. So these are the two important rays for image formation. The first one is parallel to principal axis, which appears to cut focus, and the second one which going to cut after the reflection from convex mirror. So these are the two important rays. One ray may be useful during image formation is this. This is principal axis and this is focus. This is center of curvature. One ray which is obliquely going to fall on a concave mirror, and since principal axis is always normal to the convex or concave mirror, so this is the normal and this is the incident ray. So after reflection it bounces back with the same angle with respect to normal. So if this is the angle of incidence, so this is the angle of reflection. So this is also an important ray regarding image formation. And if this is convex, and if we are going to draw the same ray on concave, so we find this is the central axis, and since this line, this axis or this line is also perpendicular to the concave mirror, so if a ray falling one concave mirror by making angle I, so same or equal angle is formed after reflection also, since this is the first law of reflection.